Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta. Welcome to my channel. On this one, I'm gonna compare SOFTUBE's Marshall plugins with real amps, and those are 20-watt Marshall heads. Yes, indeed. I've got quite a lot of comments regarding these amps of the videos I recently did of each of these separately, and then one video where I played them, compare them together. I thought that, hey, an easy way for you maybe to check out, because not every one of us have a chance of borrowing these from a MusiX or plug ID from great Swiss music shop called MusiX, MusiX. And you might be purchasing these online and you wonder that what would be the best amp for me. Well, I have a solution. SOFTUBE makes really great Marshall plugins. They are made with Marshall, so they are the only official Marshall plugins. Marshall has been involved, and they are made of specific amps what Marshall, has on their headquarters in UK. So they are really like. Before we start, let me go through my signal chain really fast. So this time I have my ESP LTD Phoenix with Seymour Duncan Pussy pickups, custom and Fat Cat, which is a P90 single coil in a humbucker enclosure. Then the signal goes to Jimi Hendrix Wah, then to tuner, and then to this looper, and from there the signal goes here. You can see it, but I put a picture. Here's a DI box, and one signal from the DI box goes here, which is basically a DI signal. But whatever pedal I'm using, like overdrive, so that is included in the DI signal. So I'm boosting the plugins with a real overdrive, like I boost real amps, and they work great. You just have to make sure that your input level is set so that when you add the overdrive, it doesn't go red, so to say, so it doesn't clip the wrong way, because overdrive is a clipping circuit, but yeah, you get the point. And then another signal from the DI box goes to this radial headbone tube amp switcher, and from here it goes to two amplifiers, and then speaker outs from the amplifier goes back to this radial, and then it goes to this reactive load. That was the gear. Now let's go to Cubase Scream, so I can show you and you can hear how this sounds and how they are compared to each other. Here we are on the screen, and from a small picture you can see I have my phone here. I'm recording the pedal board, so I don't always have to say and put a picture of what I'm using, so you can see what stuff is used. So don't look at the pedals, just look at what I press. SD, it's super overdrive. TS, it's tube screamer. So what I have here is a super overdrive. This is a JHS Bonsai, which is a fantastic. There's like 7 or 9 tube screamers, and they are like made from the actual parts. So I have GS808 now, and there's GS9 and everything. But I'm gonna use the GS808 because it's quite a bit different than the SD1. So GS has a symmetrical clipping, more mid-hump, a bit fatter low end. SD1 has asymmetrical clipping. It's more aggressive and a little bit more open sounding. It's my favorite, but GS works really well with some stuff, which I'm gonna show you soon. Then the chorus ensemble, ISP. So whenever I press SD, you can see loop 2, SD, loop 6, decimator. So whenever I'm pressing the overdrive, the decimators shift. And nada means that nothing is on. It goes directly to the amplifier and to audio interface and here. All right, so first before we start, let me show you what I have here. Let's click the mixer on. Okay, so here's the inputs. This J48 is the radio J48 DI. And here is what I have now is a Marshall Bluesbreaker plugin. So there's Bluesbreaker, Plexi, JMP, Silver Jubilee and Kerry King. And they all go to here on this SOFTUBE plugins track. So I have dialed these volumes that they are approximately the same level. Then I can control all volumes here. And what I did a really small EQ cut on 213 Hz. For some reason, all of these amps, maybe it's because of the interface or whatever, because I'm recording DI, it had that little so. I just cut it out that. So that's the only thing was going on there. And then here I have Ignite Libra. So all of these SOFTUBE plugins, they come with a cab SIM impulse response, which is, you know, a matched cab. But since all cabinets, microphones sound different, I'm gonna use one IR with everything, with the amps, with the plugin. And that's from Jens Bogren's new lead and clean pack called Valovirta. So that's kind of my signature IR. It's basically the same on the Son of God 2, EQ2, which is my favorite from the rhythm pack, which I've used like on everything. This is basically the same, it just has a little more pronounced upper mids, a little bit tame, the really high highs, and the lows are also cut too, so it's tighter. So it fits better for lead playing, but it fits great on everything, rhythm clean. Okay, so that's that. And here is the Son of God, you know, just a comparison. As you hear, the Sound of God is fatter and there's not that much mids, but yeah, okay, so that's that. Then what I have is a reverb, which is basically, as you can see, it's 0. But what it does, listen, now it's off. So only thing it does, it widens the stereo picture a little bit. And this is in the inserts of this group channel where all the plugin channels go. And it's a stereo channel, so you know, it's just wider. And then I have there, which I'm gonna put on in soon, a little bit delay and micro pitch, just to show you a couple of examples. Okay, enough yapping. That was so just, you know, what's going on, nothing else. All right, Marshall Bluesbreaker. As you can see, these are fantastic looking and sounding. So, yeah, it's a Marshall, and you can jump the channels, put them on and off. And here's the cabinet. So, as you can see, I have the microphones off, but these are just on that the signal goes through to the Libra, where I have the Jens Bogren impulse response. So, it's pretty cool. It's a Bluesbreaker. I've played and I've even recorded with a real Bluesbreaker, and you know, like, cleans nicely. Like that. All right, cool. Then I'm not gonna compare this because I don't have the Bluesbreaker. Then what we're gonna check out, Plexi. Again, look at that. And here's the channel strip. As you can see, I have it off. I added just a tiny bit of low. You know, this is kind of like your channel strip mixer when you record. So, all right, here's the basic Plexi sound. It's a plugin, I mean, come on. And latency is so little that I don't notice it now. But I think I will notice when I switch to real amp. But just, it's so little that after you play it a little bit, you're not gonna... I mean, it's a Plexi. Okay, then mute this Marshall Studio. That's the channel, and head number 2 is Plexi. So, as you can hear, real amp is a real amp, but the character, everything, it's so close, but and then let's switch back to the plugin. yeah, I mean, if you wanna, you know, check out how Plexi sounds and works, this does, and this does, there's all these channel things, and the volume too, it works like if it, when it's not connected, it still, you know, affects like on the real one. So, because it bleeds into there. So, awesome. Okay. Then let's check out the JMP 2203, which is basically JSM 800 2203. Like here, vertical inputs, you know. So JMP, well, they made these late 70s, early 80s. Okay, nothing on. Okay, then real amp. This is my favorite. This is so close to a real 800 or 2203 that it's... And again, this has a channel strip, but as you can see, I have the mics off. The channels are just open so that the signal comes through to the Libra, where I have a Jens Pugren's Valovirta's IR. So you can use the cabinet or, you know, another impulse response. Yeah, I mean, you heard it. Then the Silver Jubilee. I don't have it connected now, but this one actually differs a little bit from that 20-watt Silver Jubilee. That this doesn't have that much gain. But like I said, these plugins were made like scientifically. Like they opened the amps and checked everything with Marshall. So this is made of a particular Silver Tube. And apparently the amp that this is based doesn't have that much gain. This is kind of like your 800 gain, because that, if you saw my video of that Silver Tube, that has tons of gain. So this without any overdrives. It sounds great, but it's a little bit different. So if you try this out and you're thinking about buying please take notice that the 20 watt has more gain. But when we boost this with overdrive, let's compare it to the real 800. Like you hear, it's amazing. Okay, and then let's do this. Let's add some extra. Okay, so this is the preset that I've used in many songs. It just widens it more. So stereo delay, stereo pitch, and reverb. Check it out. So now with the JMP 212.3, same effect. So it's a plugin. It feels so close, like playing with real amp, that, you know. Okay, then what we have here, let's close this, and it's Kerry King. I put this in an amp room, which is like a platform, SOFTUBE's platform for amplifiers, pedals and stuff, which is fantastic. It's kind of like my go-to, because I have two basic templates on Cubase, plugin template and amplifier template. And really often when I write something, come up with stuff, I open the plugin template and I have the amp room there. And this 800, this is quite similar than my, well, it's there, the 84, the bad boy, this beast. There's so much high end and stuff, but this doesn't have as much as gain as my one. But I played with the real one and it's really, really close. Then when we add the beast mode, which is kind of like, because Kerry used EQ to boost him, so this is kind of the built-in EQ with his boost settings. What I like to do, I like to have it often boosted with S. So this is real raw sounding and it's a pretty cool sound, but my favorite is the JMP. I mean, so, conclusion. Tube amp is always a tube amp, and these 20 watters are great. They are extremely loud. So, if you want to play with a cabinet, I recommend using a power soak. These plugins, these are just great. Like, I don't know how they've done it, but I like these a lot. Some of you have asked what's my favorite plugins and especially Marshall plugins. Well, it's a no-brainer. It's the JMP 2203. All the others are good, but you know, my favorite tube amp is 800 2203, and this is so close. It feels and sounds like I would play with, almost like with my own amps. This is the amp what I have there as a default when I open a session. This comes. And then, because they work like real amps with pedals. You heard. I boosted with a, you know, SD and TS and, you know, wah wah. It's great. Hopefully this was interesting and informative. Thanks for watching. If you liked, thumbs up, subscribe, you know the drill. I forgot to mention that you can try the SOFTUBE plugins for free. I can't remember what was the period, but anyway, you can download them, try them out, and if you like them, then you can make the decision whether to purchase them or not. Links to SOFTUBE sites and MusiX's site in the description below.